Blockchain Briefing, April 6, 2026. Recent dynamics in the blockchain industry are primarily unfolding across four main themes: restructuring of payment infrastructure, implementation of on-chain financial scenarios, acceleration of AI and on-chain data collaboration, and exchange security risks. Payment giants adjust strategy. MasterCard evaluates disposal of real-time payments business. MasterCard Incorporated, MA, is considering spinning off its real payment unit. The underlying logic is to concentrate resources on stablecoins and blockchain infrastructure. This indicates that traditional payment institutions are migrating their capabilities toward on-chain settlement, tokenization, and infrastructure to adapt to new payment and compliance scenarios. Advancing on-chain credit products, FIGR and Agora data partner to launch blockchain auto loan platform. Figure Technology Solutions, FIGR, and Agora Data have partnered to co-launch a blockchain-based auto loan platform. This project exemplifies the trend of blockchain moving from concept to deliverable financial product, utilizing on-chain processes and data synergy to enhance transparency and traceability in lending, risk control, and contract fulfillment. Post-listing financing and collaboration signals strengthen. Blockchain discloses $50 million in AI data LOIs. Following its recent listing on the New York Stock Exchange, NYSE, blockchain disclosed letters of intent, LOIs, worth $50 million related to AI data. This suggests that market expectations for the commercialization of blockchain plus AI data/trusted data streams are intensifying. Enterprises seek to leverage on-chain credibility and provenance to support AI data supply and subsequent large-scale collaborations. Industry security alert: Drift Crypto Exchange remains frozen due to cyber attack. Drift Crypto Exchange remains in a frozen state as ongoing cyber attacks continue to impact its systems. This incident serves as a stark reminder to the industry: while on-chain applications expand and asset turnover increases, the security protection, emergency response, and fund governance of exchanges and critical infrastructure remain high-priority risk points. Overall outlook: the current landscape presents a parallel trend of strategic resource concentration in stablecoins/infrastructure, accelerated implementation of on-chain financial products, growth expectations for AI and on-chain data collaboration, and persistent pressure on industry risk control from security incidents. Ethereum Briefing, April 6, 2026. Price performance: significant gap from all-time highs. Ethereum, ETH, is currently down approximately 60% from its all-time high. Despite significant short-term volatility, market attention toward future price action continues to heat up. ETF narrative heats up: spot Ethereum ETFs favored to outperform Bitcoin funds. Recent views suggest Ethereum ETFs have the potential to outperform Bitcoin ETFs in terms of fund flows and performance. The supporting logic centers on the continuous development of the Ethereum ecosystem, increased accessibility brought by ETFs, and valuation opportunities created by the relative price retracement. Technical roadmap reevaluation: Vitalik Buterin states rollup-centric path no longer fits. Vitalik Buterin mentioned that the current planning around the rollup-centric roadmap is not as appropriate anymore. This implies that Ethereum's scaling and evolution path may enter a phase emphasizing new architectures or trade-offs, which might cause fluctuating expectations in the short term but favor the implementation of solutions better suited to current bottlenecks in the long run. Key support level observation: $2,000 floor holds, probability of bullish breakthrough rises. Market news indicates that if the support level near $2,000 remains effective, the probability of a stronger bullish breakout for ETH will increase. In other words, holding the floor is becoming a core observation metric for trading. Macro sentiment contrast: crypto fails to fully keep pace with traditional asset rally. Despite a synchronized rise in BTC, XRP, and ETH recently, the overall performance is considered to have lagged behind the stock market rally driven by Trump-related catalysts. This suggests that Ethereum's elasticity may rely more on crypto-native capital flows and ETF progress rather than simply following traditional risk appetite. 2026 outlook: increased interest in multi-asset crypto ETFs. In discussions regarding the best crypto ETFs of 2026, Bitcoin and Ethereum remain core allocation targets, indicating that institutional and trading capital maintain a positive long-term outlook on Ethereum. Conclusion: the current main trading logic for Ethereum focuses on 3 points: opportunities arising from the deep retracement relative to all-time highs, capital drivers from potential Ethereum ETFs, and a market inflection point influenced by technical roadmap adjustments and the $2,000 key support level. Moving forward, it is essential to track ETF fund flows, changes in market risk appetite, and whether key price levels can be sustained. BTC Briefing, April 6, 2026. This period focuses on three threads regarding Bitcoin, BTC, price trends and demand structure changes, short-term volatility, real-world costs/benefit impacts, and new progress in institutional demand. April 1 spot price as market benchmark. The report first reviews the BTC spot price on April 1, 2026, as a reference point for judging short-term strength or weakness. This information provides a baseline for understanding subsequent shifts in market sentiment. Facing the shock of a 50% single drop, Ethe Wood issues a strong response. Regarding the 50% BTC crash, the focus is not on technical details but on the resilience of market conviction and narrative. Ethe Wood's confrontational/firm response reflects that during major drawdowns, institutional investors still tend to view corrections as cyclical volatility rather than a reason to change long-term logic. Such statements often influence risk appetite and capital allocation pacing. Mining to offset heating bills, re-evaluating the connection between BTC and real-world costs. Another article examines daily ledgers using Bitcoin miners to offset high heating bills. This sends a market signal. Under the constraints of electricity costs, energy, and equipment depreciation, miners' marginal returns are highly dependent on the cost environment and price fluctuations. It also makes BTC price more than just a financial variable, directly linking it to energy and cash flow management. Why the crypto market is down today, driven by sentiment and capital rebalancing. Content regarding why the crypto market fell today typically emphasizes short-term drivers, cooling sentiment for risk assets, capital rebalancing, and changes in expectations for future liquidity. Combined with the discussion of a 50% level retracement, it suggests that de-risking may remain the primary theme in the short term following violent fluctuations. New changes on the demand side. Institutions expand via wrapped BTC. The most structurally valuable clue comes from the view that new institutional wrapped BTC products are driving BTC demand. The core points are: institutions can more easily gain BTC exposure, accessing it via wrapped forms within their existing compliance/trading systems. The emergence of such products means demand does not rely solely on retail and exchange on-chain sentiment but may gradually form a more stable source of capital. Conclusion, summary: the early April spot price provides a benchmark. Public responses to major drawdowns demonstrate the resilience of the long-term narrative. Mining cost pressures highlight the direct link between BTC and energy cash flows. Short-term market pullbacks are driven by sentiment and rebalancing, and the progress of institutional products like wrapped BTC serves as the most critical positive signal for the demand structure. Briefing Solana Snapshot, April 6, 2026. Major security incident. Drift suffers $280 million hack. Latest crypto security news reveals that hackers stole approximately $280 million from Drift, a DeFi platform on Solana. This event again highlights the criticality of contract security, permission control, and risk monitoring within the Solana ecosystem. Ecosystem activity. Solana hosts Easter Extravaganza finale. Solana recently launched the Easter Extravaganza themed event, now in its final day. It includes interactive content such as bunny photo showcases and egg giveaways to boost user engagement and ecosystem hype. Market performance. SOL weakens. Market anticipates volatile sell-off. Regarding price action, Solana, SOL, is trending lower as traders prepare for potential volatile selling pressure. Key observation points include SOL approaching $80, while meme tokens have seen a significant pump, driving up trading volume. Asset security alert. Magic Eden wallet users advised to migrate funds. A clear warning has been issued for user asset management. Those holding Solana and using the Magic Eden wallet should transfer funds as soon as possible to avoid risks regarding fund availability or operational issues. Conclusion: this round of Solana-related information covers high-risk hacking events, ecosystem-level user activities, and market-side price and capital structure changes, accompanied by security migration advice for wallets. Investors and users should focus on security and liquidity risks while monitoring price volatility and volume changes driven by the meme coin market. Briefing theme: Satoshi Nakamoto, April 6, 2026. Who owns the most Bitcoin? 2026 research by Arkham focuses on the landscape of large-scale Bitcoin holders in 2026, providing a reference for market understanding of major chip concentration. New security concerns. Bloomberg mentioned that stealing Satoshi's Bitcoin could pose a quantum computing threat. The report links risk discussions to future advancements in computing power, emphasizing the need to focus on key security and cryptographic resistance. Culture and marketing heat up. Soul Retriever reported that the Satoshi Nakamoto X Band's Era collaboration is set for release, featuring a Lucky Charms theme, further bringing the image of Satoshi into the mainstream fashion market. Community commemoration. MSN.com mentioned Bitcoin users celebrating the 17th anniversary of Hal Finney's first Bitcoin-related post, reflecting the enduring influence of early contributors within the community. Trading information. Binance provides Satoshi Nakamoto prices for the Turkish market along with real-time Satoshi/Tri quotes and charts, allowing users to track the price dynamics of related assets locally. Briefing. Vitalik Buterin Dynamics Overview, April 6, 2026. On private and secure AI deployment, Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin recently disclosed his thoughts on private and secure AI usage and technology stacks, emphasizing a cautious approach to access control, privacy protection, and security measures in scenarios involving sensitive information and reliability. Reservations on AI agents doing direct crypto payments. Buterin also publicly stated that he is not convinced AI agents are currently ready to handle critical tasks such as cryptocurrency payments. His core view is that AI agents still face unresolved real-world challenges regarding stability, security, and controllability required for actual payments, thus, over-optimistic expectations are discouraged in the short term. Early April cleanup action, targeting parody/spam coin ecosystems. During the April Fool's period, Buterin was reported to have initiated a major cleanup targeting meme coins to reduce the interference of speculative content, improve ecosystem quality, and govern low-quality assets created to exploit holiday hype. Stance on ETH, firm position against competing narratives. Furthermore, Buterin expressed clear views on Ethereum, ETH, related issues, which media interpreted as a dismissal of other projects/roadmaps. He emphasized the judgment that ETH is difficult to replace and expressed skepticism regarding the success of competitors. Overall, recent reports reflect two main themes. First, a security and control first priority for AI applications, maintaining caution toward AI implementation in financial scenarios. Second, a focus on Ethereum ecosystem governance and competitive narratives, emphasizing that both governance and judgment must prioritize verifiable value and stability. Briefing. Changpeng Zhao, CZ, Dynamics Summary, April 6, 2026. Binance vs Solana memecoin strategy divergence. CZ discussed different paths regarding memecoin strategies in the market, noting that different ecosystems may form distinct divisions in trading and promotion methods. Source: TradingView. Quantum computing risks and resilience. CZ shared views on the potential impact of quantum computing on crypto. The core logic includes encryption is often easier than decryption, emphasizing that the crypto asset system has the resilience to survive quantum challenges. Source: SOM, MEXC. Legal process focus. Reports focused on what will happen in bankruptcy court in the coming week, reflecting the market's high level of attention to compliance and judicial matters. Source: Law 360. Binance internal compliance personnel changes. According to PYMNTS.com, Binance has seen a wave of departures among senior compliance staff, indicating that the platform may be undergoing a transitional adjustment in its compliance and governance architecture. Source: PYMNTS.com. Overall, recent information regarding CZ centers on explaining ecosystem differences in memecoin strategies and survival judgments under quantum computing risks. Meanwhile, external focus remains on judicial progress and Binance compliance team turnover, reflecting ongoing industry fluctuations in regulation and governance. Briefing, April 6, 2026, theme, Brian Armstrong. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong stated he will maintain personal oversight on how to make Bitcoin resistant to quantum threats, aiming to proactively fortify Bitcoin's security against potential quantum computing risks. Armstrong emphasized that the quantum threat is an urgent issue for Bitcoin, requiring continuous advancement in protective measures and research to mitigate security uncertainties brought by future technological evolution. Reports noted that despite the attention on security issues and quantum resistance, Bitcoin prices remain weak, showing a disconnect between the market performance and the technical security upgrade narrative. Source: CryptoRank.io. Other news: Civic has seen progress related to escaping relegation in the TTPFL. Briefing, April 6, 2026, theme, Charlie Lee. As of April 6, 2026, no direct information regarding the person Charlie Lee was found in the provided materials. Existing content involves several Charlie-related matters and other news points. Memorial and obituary information includes 2 obituaries: Charlie Mullins, 1947 to 2026, from Ethe, West Virginia, and Charles Lucian Charlie Davis, Jr., published on April 1, Kaufman Funeral Home and Crematory. Criminal case progress. Vicksburg Daily News reported a Warren County man charged with the murder of his 74-year-old father. The report focuses on the charged stage of the case. Urban renewal and demolition. Naples Daily News stated that the redevelopment of Fort Myers Midtown in Florida will begin with the demolition of the Red Sox Stadium, marking a key construction phase for the area's transformation. Entertainment and merchandise. Marvel.com announced that Daredevil 1 blind bag covers feature various creators and characters, specifically mentioning covers related to names like Charlie Cox. Note: for a more precise report on Charlie Lee, founder of Litecoin, please provide specific articles or keywords related to his identity. Briefing, April 6, 2026, theme, Gavin Wood. Market and sentiment. DOT deep retracement, pricing pressure evident. Multiple reports focus on the Polkadot ecosystem, highlighting DOT's recent trend. DOT once fell to approximately $1.24, representing a 97% drop from its all-time high of $54, OpenPR. This oversold narrative suggests the market is highly sensitive to network fundamentals, capital efficiency, and token pricing models, making long-term expectations for Polkadot more dependent on ecosystem implementation and scaling capabilities. Medium to long-term expectations. Price predictions for 2026 to 2032. Articles from Cryptopolitan focus on DOT price predictions for 2026, 2027, and the 2028 to 2032 period. Amidst the significant retracement, such predictions serve as sentiment anchors and frameworks for scenario analysis. The key lies in whether future value capture can match network usage, scaling, and ecosystem growth. For Gavin Wood and the Polkadot vision, this reflects external expectations for a direct link between technical roadmap, user, and economic effects. Scaling and economic models. Ethereum L2 responsive pricing cited as scaling condition. Views from Off-Chain Labs were relayed by CryptoNews.net, stating that for Ethereum L2s to achieve scalability, they need responsive pricing. This indirectly contrasts with Polkadot's competition and synergy, as the market discusses how transaction/resource pricing should follow load and demand. Gavin Wood's ecosystem must provide perceptible improvements in fee mechanisms and user experience alongside throughput and availability. Information noise. A media entry mentioned Gavin Brindley, Dauber Prospects, who is not the same person as Gavin Wood/Polkadot. Other entries involve political news, e.g., California gubernatorial election reports via woodradio.iheart.com, with no relevance to the blockchain theme. Summary: discussions centered on Gavin Wood and Polkadot are currently driven by 2 threads. 1. Valuation reassessment and long-term expectation management following DOT's deep retracement. 2. Industry-wide discussions on fee/pricing mechanisms required for scaling. Whether the technical and economic models can be more closely linked to real usage growth will determine if the Polkadot narrative moves from prediction to realization. Briefing, Joseph Lubin and Ethereum Ecosystem Dynamics, April 6, 2026. Joseph Lubin, Ethereum has 100x upside potential. Reports regarding Ethereum co-founder Joseph Lubin indicate he remains strongly optimistic about ETH's long-term price performance, predicting a potential 100x increase. This statement reinforces market attention on the long-term Ethereum narrative, ecosystem expansion, infrastructure value, and continuous capital inflow. Institutional/project level. SharpLink announces revenue and holding progress. Reports state that SharpLink has disclosed $28 million in revenue, with its Ethereum holdings reaching 868,699 ETH. This reflects ongoing capital and business activity, providing the market with a synchronized on-chain asset and business performance observation. Operational and execution risks. Internal ETH handling adjustment draws attention. Other news points to SharpLink undergoing a migration/transition in its internal ETH handling, sparking discussions on execution risk. While the migration may bring potential cost savings, reports emphasize the need to evaluate execution reliability and risk control during the transition. Industry comparison data. Solana transaction volume versus Ethereum milestones. Data reports show Solana's transaction volume has surpassed 10 billion, while Ethereum is approaching/reaching the 200 million milestone, likely referring to active addresses or a specific metric. This provides a cross-chain scale reference, reflecting Solana's advantage in high-frequency trading while demonstrating Ethereum's continuous growth in users/activity. Key summary: Joseph Lubin's 100x expectation provides a strong signal for market sentiment and long-term pricing anchors. Meanwhile, SharpLink's revenue and ETH holding growth enhance ecosystem capital observations, though the execution risks from its internal migration warrant tracking. Across the industry, key data milestones for both Solana and Ethereum highlight the parallel state of competition and expansion. Briefing, April 6, 2026, theme, Jihan Wu, Bitdeer's AI pivot drives stock surge. According to TipRanks, Bitdeer Technologies saw a significant increase in its stock price after announcing a bold AI pivot. As a key figure at Bitdeer, Jihan Wu's strategic move is interpreted by the market as a shift from traditional business, especially crypto-related paths, toward the AI sector, thereby boosting investor expectations for the company's future growth. The core value of this information is that the market's attitude toward Bitdeer's shift to AI is positive, already reflected in short-term stock performance. This suggests that the AI narrative plus strategic transformation could become a major driver for its subsequent valuation and attention. Briefing, Nick Szabo observations, as of April 6, 2026. Recent clues surrounding the name Nick Szabo come from three types of information: crypto asset risk warnings, the background of cryptocurrency creation, and public obituaries for the surname Szabo. Bitcoin ETF filings list quantum computing as an emerging risk. Reports indicate that Morgan Stanley's Bitcoin ETF, MSBT, filings list quantum computing as an emerging risk. The significance of this warning is that if quantum computing power reaches a level capable of impacting existing cryptographic systems, the security mechanisms relied upon by cryptocurrencies may face higher uncertainty. For those who understand crypto technology and institutional design, this is a signal to examine the long-term viability of crypto systems from a security assumption perspective. Little-known details of cryptocurrency creation organized. Another article shares several obscure details regarding the creation of cryptocurrencies, providing background material for understanding the path of crypto thought from concept to practice. For a lineage known for mechanism and contract design, such summaries help view the evolution of modern crypto systems through a more complete historical and technical lens. Surname Szabo obituary appears. Public information retrieved an obituary for Michael Andrew Szabo Jr. Since the content does not directly state a relationship with Nick Szabo himself, this appears to be a surname-related clue and requires further verification for any actual connection. Conclusion: current information focuses on two main threads. First, a forward-looking warning of future cryptographic risks, quantum computing, from an institutional level, ETF filings. Second, filling in key background details of the cryptocurrency creation process from a historical and mechanistic perspective. Briefing, Andreas M. Antonopoulos, The Internet of Money, Reflections on Bitcoin Extremism and Industry Realities. Focus on core works and thought. Articles collectively emphasize Andreas M. Antonopoulos' seminal work, The Internet of Money. The book is widely recommended as essential reading for understanding why Bitcoin and blockchain can transform value transfer and trust structures, providing a framework from technical concepts to social impact. Healthy concerns regarding Bitcoin extremism/maximalism. Content from Decrypt indicates that Antonopoulos believes Bitcoin maximalism may be unhealthy. His logic focuses on the idea that excessive exclusion or a single narrative dominance may weaken the understanding of broader technology and real-world applications, hindering the establishment of a more sustainable industry consensus. Reversal case of industry sentiment and capital incentives. A report from QZ.com reflects the complex interactions within the Bitcoin community. A Bitcoin promoter who was bit-shamed, criticized for being not good enough or too poor, ended up receiving $1.5 million in funding support. This case reflects that community criticism and controversy do not necessarily equate to failure. Instead, they can trigger attention, mobilization, and resource redistribution. Maintaining open uncertainty toward the future. BetaKit.com mentioned that Antonopoulos doesn't know what happens next. This statement aligns with his consistent style, emphasizing the understanding of underlying mechanisms and increasing social awareness of decentralized and open networks, rather than making dogmatic predictions about short-term outcomes. Conclusion: Antonopoulos's value proposition can be summarized in 3 points. using the Internet of Money to build a framework for understanding decentralized value networks, warning against the unhealthy exclusion in Bitcoin discourse, and using real-world cases and the admission of uncertainty to remind the industry to remain rational and open amidst public opinion, capital, and technical evolution.